It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello and welcome to the Limitless Coach Success podcast. I'm your host, Sabine Matharo, and I am thrilled to be here with another episode. I have an amazing guest, Mia Frankel, who is such a powerful teacher, and I've already had a conversation with her before, and she's just incredible. So we're here to help coaches, course creators, consultants, therapists, healers to help serve them build a bigger community and build their online businesses. And this is all about empowerment. So if you are new to the space, or if you are already growing your business, absolutely in the right spot. Either way, by the way, you can find a lot of resources on my podcast page. There is a link to lots of different business building resources, so feel free to check it out. And obviously, we've got Mia on the call today, and she's also got some resources for you. Now, Mia runs powerfulinc.com. As her website. She's a mom, she's an employee, entrepreneur, a teacher, healer, and a sage. And she actually talks about that she's actually belittled herself for the majority of her life to date, but now she is truly embodying her right to her worthiness. And of this topic, and I think you're going to go truly, truly deep. The three things that Mia wants to share with us is obviously we're going to talk about how she found her up-leveled self version and how to get organized as well as trusting your calling. And I think this is a true sort of theme for me right now as well. So Mia, a huge welcome. I'm super, super excited to have you here.
Thank you, Sabine. I had the pleasure to the audience of interviewing Sabine on my podcast, and we had instant chemistry. So I'm just thrilled to reconnect and keep our new relationship going and come on your show as a guest today. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Mia, just in your own words, what's your background? Obviously, there is a reason why you do what you do now. There might be a bit of a backstory, and then I think it's just sharing some really actionable steps around how to get over some of the things that you might have experienced and what you do right now and how you help your clients as well.
Yeah, how did I get here? It's always all the steps in the journey, and my overall or most influential life story came from my mom, my darling mom, who said, "Go and get a good job," and that is the recipe to success and stability in life. She's been a stay-at-home mom, and so she kind of breaks my heart a little because she's such a dynamic woman, and she wanted to be a French professor. But with the family moving and, from country to country, those dreams were put on hold to raise the family and be the dutiful wife and mom. So I think that's a lot of where her encouragement and insistence, loving insistence, came from. Go to school and get a good job. So being a dutiful daughter, I went to school and got a good job, and a very rewarding. And I'm now really appreciating my employee life and my entrepreneurial life. So we don't need to choose one or the other. Part of my journey was following the book of life, as I call it, but there was something more. We hear a lot of this, something more, right? I mean, we can find meaning in anything that we do, but I started exploring the entrepreneurial world through multi-level marketing and tried a few different companies, and they didn't quite hit it, but it was part of revealing more of my talents, skills, and passions. And so most online business proper was an online business management service. Still working full-time doing that, feeling drained and just working around the clock nonstop and constantly doing multiple things in parallel to each other. So there wasn't a lot of spiritual rest in that. And then sometime in 2022, 2023, I got hit by the divine and was able to kind of shift how I was doing things to bring balance back and put myself first. So this is where Powerful Inc. and this online coach teaching healing space was born. And it's just been fire. Like I can't even understand. It's so supernatural how much now comes through that I've, kind of said yes to opening a portal greater than myself, if you will.
Wow, that's so powerful. I love that you said that you don't have to choose between employee and entrepreneurship. I find that a lot of people ask me, how do I start a business? Do I just go in full in, cold turkey? What have you done? And I love that you sort of balance both. I actually I couldn't do, for me it was one or the other. So I'd love to hear a bit more about that because it is hard. I mean, even people might have kids at home and have so many different things, or maybe even be a carer to someone else. So I think this balance, or if we can call it, is there any balance at all? I mean, how do we navigate through these between the different chairs, if you like?
Yeah. I mean, everybody's different, and this isn't a brag. I think this is just a certainty that's been demonstrated to me over and over. I can carry a lot. I have broad shoulders. I don't fit into a lot of blazers, but also in the sense of being able to kind of stay organized among the chaos, which is where becoming an online business manager first edition resulted from. I'm grounded and steady and help people stay kind of centered, connected to all the floaty bits. So I have a bit of a natural ability, but what's really important in this conversation, and I'm so glad you want to draw it out, is this idea that we have to be just one thing and be all of that. And, the online coaching space is really loud around, look at me, and I quit my job in half a day and da-da-da-da-da. Everybody is different.
And I retired my husband.
Yeah, I retired my husband in 5 seconds in one sale. Like, holy smokes, awesome. And make it fit for you. What fits for me right now, and it wasn't always like this. I wanted to chase entrepreneurship, to quit my job, replace my income, and live the laptop lifestyle. But I've fallen back in love with my job because I got a better job. And I'm now in a place that I adore and that I can do so much in. So I don't have this urging, a painful desire to leave. I'm invested and committed there, and I'm finding meaning. The online business is still equally important, and it's so much bigger than me. It's a place that's like a lifetime thing. It's a legacy thing. A job you work until you retire, quit, and they replace you type, here up in Canada. Like I'm creating meaning, but I'm the meaning. And I'm going to create a great program, but I'm going to leave it and somebody else will come in and run it their way. The online business takes me into a deeper level of fulfillment and allows me to explore even more of myself without the costs that a job has. I work in local government, so I'm regulated by politics, I'm regulated by regulations, I'm regulated by decorum, like behavior, being a certain way, maintaining sense of professionalism, and being a good representative. Online, I can reach that deeper level of myself. So I'm finding great fulfillment between both of them. And the balance, I mean, it is a teeter-totter. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend like, everything's easy breezy. I'm a cover girl, no, it's challenging, but I rise to the challenge, and every day I'm training myself. Every day I'm regulating my nervous system. I'm anchoring into safety, and I've been working so hard to just really focus on getting one thing done, one thing done, one thing done, and the big things, there's busy work, like with running an online business, answering emails that aren't client related, reading posts to see what other people are doing, or intending to go onto social media to network and getting lost. So it's always a very deeper level of training to stay organized and spend my time very intentionally with whatever's in front of me, which PS absolutely includes my family, my husband, my children, my friends, these other things too. And with the digital world, we can run around with our phones and always stay connected. Has been another new habit, another new practice to leave it alone. Because I used to wear this badge of honor of like, I'm at the computer with my newborn on my lap, ha ha ha, look at me. And now I don't regret that. I mean, it's great and the pictures are super cute and it's a part of our life, my daughter and I. But I wouldn't necessarily encourage that, because each part of your life is sacred. So when you're spending time in that particular relationship, spend that time.
I love what you just said. I mean, especially this badge of honor, like it, it doesn't mean that because you're working loads and loads of hours that you're going to be more productive. I actually did a bit of with myself, right? I mean, I'm kind of like the lastminute.com person, but then I also love to be super organized and planning. I mean, my background's project management, and I was working just like you in similar environments where you have to be that particular persona and deliver and all that. But I can't organize myself in my own business. It's a bit harder. But what I noticed is it doesn't matter, because we don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be all super organized. It's really about going with the passion. That's what I realized. And I also realized that if there is a school run to do in about an hour or so, and I set myself like this out to create a landing page or a registration page or something, I will get it done in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how it actually happens. And if I set myself 5 hours, I will get it done in 5 hours. So it's that, I don't know, there's probably a law that's called that way, like I can't remember what it is, but yeah, it just goes to show that if you just block yourself that time and without distraction, and also if you just switch off your phone or not check any messages until lunch, quite often there's nothing there that's totally urgent, and the world's not going to end just because you're not responding straight away.
We have this culture of instant gratification because of technology, right? And technology has been wonderful and has enriched our lives in many ways. Sabine and I would not have likely connected in the real world anytime soon for this deep relationship that I feel growing between us. But that instant gratification is like eating a bag of chips when you're hungry. Like, it falls flat. It doesn't actually serve the deeper purpose that you need. And so you have to train yourself out of that again by creating more intentional habits, by getting a few layers deeper into why you're doing what you're doing. I am really good at being busy, but not productive, and they're not the same thing. And so being organized to me, after about 1.5 years of transitioning more into my coaching, my healing space here, has been knowing, because I've become that business owner, knowing what are the things that really need to be done and what are the most important things that need to be done, and really having to let go of the rest. And I am a Capricorn. I am an organizer. A girlfriend who's known me for 30 plus years even just recently joked about how if you change the plan, Mia loses her mind. I'm like, well, I'm all grown up now. I know it's still like that. I am still a little bit like that. And so I have to, this is a great quote. It's straight out of the Supernatural. I have to overcome myself to become myself. I have to rise through what I've kind of not necessarily complacently, but just not very aware, allowed to collect and come over that to really to a higher state of performance, I guess. So I love my analogies. And to break it down, then this would be the difference between a gold medal Olympian and us. No offense, anyone, ourselves included. I'm not a gold medal Olympian. I don't have that desire. They have that desire because they are constantly reaching for higher, training for higher day by day, right? And so this is the overcoming ourselves. Right now, in my messaging and in my life, I'm 42. I wanted to be a certain health goal by 40. So, metric wise, I'm 2 years past due, but I didn't do the work in order to get the result. I didn't overcome my status quo. I kept choosing complacency. I kept choosing sitting. I kept choosing excuses to stay in that place. So this is overcome yourself to become yourself means you have to push a little harder and want, desire a little bit more for yourself in order to hold more. So if you want to run a business and still have a job as you transition or do whatever else is going on in your life, you can have both. It will be more work, but it's also a opportunity to increase your spiritual fitness, your spiritual self in terms of your potential.
I just love, again, what you just said, because so many entrepreneurs start their business and they feel this sense of pressure of having to make a certain amount of money through the business, especially when they obviously left the corporate behind, or they're very frustrated with where they are right now because they, for some reason, don't like the boss or the co-workers, or they not got the promotion and or not making enough money and all that. And I think this is where it's kind of like this area where you're kind of trapped as well when you put yourself under that pressure that you cannot, you kind of like chained, or you feel like imprisoned, and you cannot express the creativity that you need in order to blossom. And I don't know how to express that in the best manner, but I mean, I'm not a mindset coach at all, right? I am like project manager, step by step, and that's what I teach. But I absolutely recognize that if you're not in flow, or you don't show your passion, if you're not dropping into your heart and communicating in that way, then you can do all kinds of different strat things are just not going to work in your business, and you're not going to attract the desired result. So I think it's an important part to actually have fun and to take that pressure away in order to, so yeah, it's overcoming yourself. It's like, yeah, get out your own way kind of thing. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, it is. And I want to come into this, project management, having a system is the life raft to flow, right? So it's the duality of their existence. The opposites create the balance. And if we just have constant flow, and I mean, this is where my next self could evolve from, was from, I call them popcorn CEOs, because they're just constantly popcorn or fireworks, and they're just constantly bubbling up ideas and like the next big thing and all of that. But if you're not getting traction in that, if you're not staying grounded through some project management, through some strategy, then you can dissipate into, the supernatural abyss and not necessarily achieve anything. So the balance,
yeah, and that's the opposite, isn't it? That's the other extreme, where people think they need to manifest and meditate, and that's all they do. Like it takes out. So it's having the both, really having, yeah. I wouldn't say maybe an equal amount. I don't know what is right or wrong, but I mean, yeah, there has to be both. Absolutely.
So, and it's different for everybody, right? And this has been a big part of my learning journey too, is I was trying for so long to fit clients a square peg round hole. This way, you're doing it wrong. Now I've realized here's another tagline of mine, structure without constriction, right? So now we have flow systems that allow us to support ourselves And I'm a product of that because that's what I've created in my big, busy life, right? And it's not ever finite, like you've said, Sabine. It's an ongoing relationship where we're kind of figuring things out, but we have a place to stay grounded and then open up that spaciousness for flow to happen. And that's, a big part of where Powerful Inc. is heading now, into habits and supportive courses to kind of get your house set up, your metaphorical house, your business house, so that you have some clarity and you have a better sense of what actions to take rather than trying to do all the things all the time. Like I used to have, I was a 100 tab on a browser person, and guess how much got done? Not much, because I'm just doing like 10 seconds here, 3 minutes there, 7 minutes here. Oh, what Facebook scroll? Oh, what rap? Like, no, you're bringing it down, you're bringing it down, you're bringing it down. And this is where we kind of, the irony or the juxtaposition of, being open to flow and doing one thing at a time in a bit of a structured way. That's how we keep ourselves organized. The other elements of that have a lot to do with taking care of yourself and regulating your nervous system. When I first started as a guest and interviewing, I'd be so my heart racing and just like wired. And I just continuously practice the dropping in, the dropping in. Right now, my heart rate is pretty normal, right? This has been a practice. So coming from that space too removes what you were talking about of that survival mode approach to running our business and holding that space, becoming fitter to hold the space of what we want with clarity, like the gold medal Olympian, has a plan on what to eat and what to do and how much to do to get there. The online world is selling a dream, and it's a dream that's hard to consolidate because there's a lot of different messaging. $50,000 launch, in from the beach type of thing, to I work 20 hours a week and make $1 million a day. And so how do we do that? The truth behind that is where we're having this conversation is in the small daily habits and practice of how we show up. And it's true, you can run a successful business on 20 hours a week because you're organized and you know what to do. You could probably run it on less even if you have a couple of team members who can do some of the extra work for you as well. But, feel that drop down in the truth of that. That's because you're managing return on investment of time and action for impact.
Yes, I love that. It is absolutely possible to you could even run a business 1 hour a day. You can remove yourself completely from the business if you have a team. I mean, we know that the big organizations, the CEO is not always available and maybe runs 10 different businesses. So yeah, I think when you get started, it is very easy to compare yourself with all these other people that are just crossing your news feed, and then you get triggered and and why am I not like this, and why can't I be like that? I'm not good enough, and it won't work for me and all that. So I think it's really about quieting the voice inside of your head. And this is what I did. I actually had to unsubscribe from a lot of people just because they just distracted me. It was shiny objects. And I don't know, maybe it's me. I just don't like when people flaunt that, oh yeah, build 6 figures in threads, and, all they do is just sell, sell, sell. I like people who inspire me, and I think who understand the journey. And I'd like to actually understand, everyone who comes behind me, their journey. And this is where I put myself back into their shoes a couple of years ago, and I'm thinking, okay, what was I feeling? Like where was I? Why was I frustrated? And I think we just need to really be aware that we can't be someone else who may be already 5 or 10 years ahead in the business, and they've been through a lot, and they probably haven't become a millionaire overnight. So remember that. So I guess perhaps this is kind of a natural kind of close. Maybe you can just add to that and summarize maybe any golden nugget that you want to share with the audience.
I mean, here's my most recent tagline message that's coming through, you guys. So lean in, because I'm really in love with it. Embody this idea, the concept, and the truth that I and you am just an ordinary woman with an extraordinary purpose, just like you. And that's collective coming together to support one another and to be responsible to the role, the purpose that we're here to fulfill to each other. And that helps you get out of your own way, because you don't know who's waiting for you to show up. If you have a calling to be an entrepreneur and to serve in some way, that's because that's coming through you. That's coming from the supernatural, whatever you believe. I have goosebumps, you guys, and I'm warm, but I have goosebumps from this. The message is, from the divine, it comes through. So you need to get over yourself, because you are part of something so much bigger. And how dare you hedge on that? Go and screw up. Go and feel a fool. Go and be so sweaty like I used to be and still am sometimes. But just practice at it and practice at it to increase that fitness, because you are responsible to the person who needs you, the people who need you. And when you say no to that, you put a kink in the whole system and hold it up. The longer I hedge, I hold it up to Sabine or Sarah or Barbara, who are waiting for me. And the same thing. So we need to all flow together. We're ordinary women. We're ordinary people. We're here to do extraordinary things. And we're going to do that together. It's not about me. It's about us.
Yeah. Well said. And this just reminded me, well, go back to your why, because there was, back when you had that desire to start that business, there was something inside of you, that vision, that wasn't probably I need to make more money. It was some purpose, right? It was something to change somebody else's life or the whole world. Like in essence, we are changing the world, because
Yes.
if we just do our little bit, we can create all these amazing ripple effects.
Yes. That's where the impact is.
So never forget this. That's why we're here for.
Why did you have that?
I could speak for
I know,
hours.
but we're going to derail.
Just going really deep.
But you had a desire to serve.
Thank you so much, Mia.
Pleasure.
Just share a bit where people can find.
Oh, the best
Of course,
place.
I'm going to link your information.
Yeah, just get onto my email list. See, I'm organizing myself and bringing everybody through one door to get on my email list, powerfulinc.com/blog. And then once you're in there, you get, a cool freebie excerpt from one of my programs. And then I'm just going to do most of my communication through there, because it's easy for me to manage through one door. And then it just opens up to my world.
That's why this talk is called Simplicity and Authenticity as a New Female Business Woman.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.